So when I turn off new customer only, I got more new customers. Just because they're a new customer does not mean that Google generated it. It's the same thing that PMax does. PMax can get a whole bunch of new traffic. Actually, here's what's great. Most of your new customers will come in through brand. Cold traffic and new customers are not synonymous. The other part is Google just doesn't know who's new and who's not.
So actually, I saw one of our short over YouTube regarding the new customer acquisition bidding strategy, and in that short, you mentioned that there is no mean to go for new customer acquisition bidding strategy. So I want some clarity over that point. So can you please mention?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yeah.
here's something that we found every single time I try to use this. I'm going to pull up, actually, I was going to do this here. So new customer acquisition, two things. Just because they're a new customer does not mean that Google generated it. It's the same thing that PMax does. PMax can get a whole bunch of new traffic. Actually, here's what's great. Most of your new customers will come in through brand. It will. You can run a brand campaign, nothing but a brand campaign, nothing. All of your marketing, 100% of your marketing is done on Facebook. Brand will capture a bunch of new customers. Cold traffic and new customers are not synonymous.
Okay.
So cold traffic and new customers are not synonymous with each other. You can have a person that's been to the website 49 times today from Facebook and then Google the brand name and Google's like, hey, you got a new customer. So just know that because they're a new customer does not mean they started their journey there. That's the first thing that's extremely important to know. The other part is Google just doesn't know who's new and who's not. We remember when you all see my thing where I say, hey, I've uploaded 3.5 million customers. I excluded them. And Google says, yep, they're all excluded. None of your existing customers are coming in. Google said last week, 8 of my sales were existing customers. In actuality, it was 900. So I said, this is fun. Let's do this. Let's try asking Google, after uploading millions of customers, after having a UA audience imported, after having all of our converter audiences being imported from Google Tag Manager, after identifying all of them and building this big list, and then let's turn on new customer only bidding. I think this was February or March. So inside of here, in Performance Max, see that big dip right there? I was spending 38 grand a day and then 37 grand a day turned on new customer only and bump, bump, bump. And during this time period on the 20th, all new customers, 100% new customers, 100% new customers. Everything was looking really, really good all the way down. They said, well, give it a few days because it's only bidding on new and you had a lot of repeats. So it's going to take some time to kind of, self-adjust. So what's funny is after turning it on the 17th, if I look at the 18th, 19th, and 20th, so let's do 18th, 19th, and 20th, April 18th, 19th, and 20th. When Google said I have 0 returning customers, 18th, 19th, and 20th of April. So let's do this. So I'm just trying to memorize it. This was my sole source of truth here, because we took a month and a half building a custom API connection directly into 2 different CRMs that reference themselves to see if it's actually a real customer or not. So, I mean, the most solid thing I can do, the best way that I can come about from an actual live reporting, unless physically being in the CRM checking this kind of daily. So April 18th, 19th, and 20th, which is April 18th, 19th, and 20th. And what I did is I saw that, yes, Google said it was new customer only. Good. There were a lot of non-brand cold traffic. Good. Some brand. Okay. And what I looked at, though, is even though volume was lower, Google was looking pretty good. So I kept telling them, because I had a daily meeting, don't worry, we need to wait this out. Don't worry, we need to wait this out. Yada, 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 back and forth a bunch of times. And this was across the board. I had all of my campaigns, all of my Performance Max campaigns do this, spending 40 grand a day. So I had a big test. And when we look at this here, the Performance Max before and after, my Performance Max, all of my campaigns, I had 28% less first-time transactions and 37% less returning transactions. But I went after turning it on 18th and 19th, 20th, I made 800 returning and 370 new. Both were just down.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I need to remind you that I'm always looking for people to join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you want to work with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, please go to solate.com/apply. Speaking of working with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, if you're having trouble with Google Ads and you want professional help, that's what we do. You can go to solate.com, that's SOL8.com, to apply for your free, no obligation action plan. And if I've given you any level of value at all, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. That's how we juice the YouTube algorithm so they actually know that I know what I'm talking about. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or confessions, hit me below in the comments. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Turn on new customer only acquisition. Spent half, 370 new, 800 returning. Google said, nope, all new, not one returning. I said, well, that's bad. Immediately turned it off and then boop, popped up the next day of the 21st. So let's check 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So go back to April. And April 21st, 22nd, 23rd, compared to the, so 3 days after turning off new only, compared to the previous period. My first time transactions went up 50%. My returning transactions went up 41. I started scaling more new customers with it off at a higher percent than the returnings. So when I turn off new customer only, I got more new customers. I've tried about 4 different ways. And I kept running into the same issue on 4 different customers, which was one of them. We did it with, didn't work either. So I've never had that actually work. All it did was kill the campaigns. Yep, cool. Again, you just have to check in outside of what Google will say. That's gonna be the kicker. Google will be like, yep, everything looks good, and then people spend more money. In actuality, the client's like, hey, what's going on? I'm not seeing any more new customers. We're like, Google said, and they're like, well, you're fired. All right. So we just had to go past that.
Welcome to the ultimate guide for Google Ads for 2023. I'm Qasim. This is John. Or this
Hello.
John. I don't know where you're going to land.
Yeah, hopefully I'm just not below you. That'd be weird.
All right, dude. So we've done this every year for a couple of years now.
Yeah.